Welcome to my home and welcome to my channel. This is me, Christoph Key, laughing through life, single, gay, and sober. This week's topic is on hobbies and ways to spend our time. One of the first things we realize in early sobriety is how much free time we suddenly have. I just wanted to share with you my experiences on how I fought boredom in early sobriety. If anyone knows anything on boredom, it's me. Growing up an only child, I never really had kids my age to play with, and I'd often have to get creative. I'd play board games by myself, put on plays with stuffed animals, and often dreamed of a life outside of where I lived. I found drinking extremely entertaining. It's accepted at celebrations, restaurants, and almost all gatherings. When you remove that substance from your life, it can be difficult to find ways to spend your time. I actually got sober July 2020, in the midst of a lockdown, riots, and a pandemic. Being isolated from people and resources added a whole new level of intensity to my sobriety. I felt extremely lonely at times, and it wasn't until about 8 months in, when I was introduced to my AA group, that they've literally become a part of my daily life. Finding constructive things to do can be challenging at first. I did some of the most random things. I filtered through my wardrobe and home dozens of times, and even colored in a coloring book for 2 months. Anything that would keep my mind and hands busy, I was okay with. The first big thing I got into was plants. I had never really been a plant guy in the past because drinking took priority over keeping anything alive. I now live in a unit with a large east-facing window, so I thought I'd give it a try. The more plants I brought into my home, the happier it made me. I was actually creating a vibe and atmosphere that I was proud of. I now have about 100 plants in my home, and I gain so much joy from caring for them. Yeah, not all survive, and tending to something only to have it die in you can be stressful, but caring for something is the most important part of the process. I also really got into crystals. I'm a big fan of healing crystals and their metaphysical properties. All around my home, I have a large crystal collection, and I really enjoy adding to it. I usually select a crystal pendant every day, depending on which mood I'm in. And if I don't know what it means, I look it up. And to my surprise, more often than not, it does relate to my life at that time. I love to meditate with them and definitely carry a few in my pocket or bag. And come on, they're just gorgeous. Another hobby that I just dove right into was kite flying. Now, I'm not really sure where this idea came from, but one day in the dead of winter in Colorado, I got the bright idea of my next trip to San Diego buying a kite. And let me tell you, I did just that. I looked up a kite shop and found one in Seaport Village. With some assistance, I picked the right one for me and walked right outside to a patch of grass right in front of the ocean. I quickly assembled it and immediately tossed it in the air. I hadn't flown a kite in years, and this was no cheapie. The consistent breeze from the ocean grabbed a hold of my kite, and it soared higher and higher in the air. The feeling of being tethered to something, soaring to heights impossible to you, is an amazing feeling. I now have 3 kites that I consistently fly, and I'm looking forward to buying a trick kite next. Those are just 3 new things that I now occupy my time with, but there's many, many more. I've gained a new love for fine bakeries and breads. I love going to weekly farmers markets. And thankfully, I've gained a new addiction to the gym and nutrition. Boredom in early sobriety is absolutely normal. We have to rediscover ourselves and start back at 0. And 0 is usually boring. Just remember to be kind to yourself. Now that our favorite pastime is no longer an option, we must find other things that bring us joy to replace it. That brings us to our moment of gratitude. This week, I'm grateful to live in a space that I'm actually proud of. I never lived in a home that was just mine. I've created a vibe that is instantly felt when entered, and I'm told that often. It's wonderful living in a space that's a proper reflection of you. Thanks so much for watching. Hang in there. This is me, Christoph Key. Do you like me? Then make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.